Here's a clip from the Southwestern Lead app.
And third, we don't ever want to take our success for granted, so we're going to cherish our success. You're highly successful people, every person in here. I say you're highly successful people because you're willing to set a goal, step out, and take a challenge on that most people are not. You're successful people because more often than not, when you say you'll do something, you actually do it. In a world full of people that don't do what they say they're going to do, you stand out. You're highly successful people already. And so if we want to maintain a continuous process of growth and success, we can't take this for granted. Now, we have a lot of people that are highly successful, publicly successful, and they fail. Oh, me and my fellow Red Sox fans. We went through an 80-year drought, an 80-year drought. Then finally we won a World Series. Then a few years later we won another one. Then we won another one. And in 2018 it all came together. We won 108 games, one of the best seasons in the history of the universe. World Series title. It was amazing. It was spectacular. My Red Sox did that. In 2019 our manager and several others were accused of what's called sign stealing. Sign stealing is not a good thing in baseball. It's not ethical. It's not right. In 2020 they lost 60% of their games. This is how the mighty sometime hath fallen. And we see this oftentimes in sports, don't we? Most of you say, oh my gosh, what is this? This is an album cover from a group called Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba. How many of you are wondering, who the heck is Chumbawamba? Who's Chumbawamba? Well, they fell down, and they get up again. Ain't nothing gonna keep me down, I won't fall down. Well, guess what? They were a one-hit wonder. So there are some great successes, some notable fails. They get lots of publicity. It's amazing. And some notable falls. Oh, Dan, you're getting personal now. It's fun to bask in success, isn't it? I have 17 Sharpies. I'll need more to finish all my autographing. Such an exciting moment, isn't it? The question is, what can we do to make sure that we don't join the group of notable fails? I believe there's many, many reasons why champions might fail. But because we don't have unlimited time, I distilled them down into three. First of all, they became more important than their purpose. Anytime that our own interests, our own desires, our likes and dislikes become more important than what we're trying to accomplish, we are in for a fall, sooner or later. How many of you try to read at least a little bit of something motivational or positive or developmental every day? Just a little bit. People say, Dan, do you read the Bible every day? No, I don't. I try to. At a minimum, I try to read one of the books of Proverbs. And yesterday, one of the great verses in the proverb was that pride goes before a fall. A haughty spirit goes before disaster. So when we become more important than what we're trying to accomplish, when we enjoy the accolades, when we enjoy the recognition, then all of a sudden we're forgetting the people that we serve. And so if you think about people that you've known, whether it's famous people or not so famous people, that were great and then they weren't so great, this explains a lot of it. That we no longer surrender to our purpose, instead we surrender to our publicity. And so if we can ever surrender to our purpose fully, then we enjoy the publicity. Anybody that says they don't enjoy praise should not be trusted. A person that says they don't enjoy praise shouldn't be trusted, because a person that would say that would lie about other things too. We all enjoy that. But when that's why we do what we do, it's fleeting. It's not going to happen for very long. So how can we concentrate on what it is we're trying to accomplish and not become too important for that? Number two, Mount Everest just doesn't get any shorter. It's 29,000 some odd feet, and every time somebody tries to climb it, it's the same 29,000 some odd feet. I just assumed Mount Everest would be shorter. Listen, something hard is always hard. Put it that way. Who's ever run a half marathon? Who's ever run a full marathon? Go get counseling. I've run 24 half marathons. I need lots of counselors. And I got news for you, the 24th was just as long as the first one. It wasn't any shorter. I wish it had been. Something difficult is always going to be difficult. Let's don't expect it not to be. And when we don't expect it to be, we can get ready for it. We don't get blindsided. We don't get hit in the head. We're ready for it. So making sure that we are ready for what's coming. We can handle any daunting task that we've handled before, and we can handle it better, as long as we don't expect it to suddenly be easier. Does that make sense? Okay. And third, they assume it's their DNA, their greatness, their uniqueness, their amazingness that got them to the top. No, I made it to Everest completely alone. Nobody helped me get up there. Look what I did. And the challenge with that is that once we become all wrapped up in ourselves, we become a very small package. And so the ability to express appreciation to those that helped us on the journey is a true mark of greatness. I can't think of a single time I was ever around Spencer Hayes that he wasn't expressing appreciation and thanks to all of those that were around him. It was truly incredible. It had become a habit to him because he really understood. Now, one aspect of number 3 is when we say, I deserve to succeed. And the minute we say we deserve to succeed, get the nets out, because there's a fall about to happen. We can prepare, we can be entitled because we prepared, we can have expectation. Yes, all that's great. But we don't deserve anything in life except an opportunity. That's all we really need. There are many of you in this room who are either immigrants yourself or your families are recent immigrants, and they came with nothing. Nothing. They weren't asking for handouts. They were simply asking for an opportunity. And what a great thing that is. Don't you take a lot of pride in the fact that you don't need much? You really don't. In fact, I believe anybody in this room could get pushed out of an airplane at 20,000 feet, wherever you landed in short order, you would thrive. You don't need anything else because of what's inside, and that's what makes such a difference. So let me just kind of hit a couple of early warning signals for impending disaster. If you find, in fact, that you're beginning to take shortcuts, I'm almost there. It's like a B. It might even be a B plus if they grade on the curve. And anytime we start taking shortcuts, it's a danger signal. When we know what's meant to be done, let's form the habit simply of doing it. So if we find ourselves beginning to take these shortcuts, well, I don't really have to do that follow-up. I can blow it off for a day. I know I'm going to be a few minutes late, but it's okay. They'll forgive me. This could be a signal that maybe we're starting to take a few shortcuts. Our favorite word is the world's shortest word. We love to talk about ourselves. I did. Sometimes just for fun, take a look at a bunch of your texts or your emails, and with an imaginary red pen, circle the number of times we put the word I. And see if we can't eliminate that. Let's make everything about you and everything about us and everything about we as much as we can. A third one, we blame. It's not my fault, it's her fault. It's not my fault, it's the turf's fault. We name people that brought us down. Oh, if only so-and-so hadn't done this bad thing, I would have been highly successful. I would have done okay if my roommate hadn't done this. If my roommate hadn't been so off schedule, this would have been terrible. We then complain. Now, I don't mean to be negative, and the word that next comes is but, and then the most negative stuff, you think the whole atmosphere is going to turn into negatively charged ions. It's just going to be unbelievable. So complaining is okay to an extent if it gets junk out, but follow the simple rule of a very limited time frame. Even professional sports managers that lose in the championship put a rule on themselves. They'll allow themselves to complain and wallow and be upset for 24 hours, and that's the end of that. And move past it, because it's such a better thing to do. And disdain. Yeah, those affirmations, I've outgrown those. We can never disdain the things that help us to be successful in the first place, in particular, other people. Shane Blick, somebody I've learned a great deal from, was the first person to tell me about the book called The Power of Now. Maria has actually succeeded in getting me to read the book. And the more I read the book of The Power of Now, the more it makes ultimate and total sense. Do we have any regrets in our lives? I do. We didn't create the regrets in some mythical past. If I do something now I'm not meant to do, that will become a regret tomorrow. When we think about our future, how great the future will be, the future doesn't just emerge great, it's what I do now that will make the future great. And so are we focused on now? Are we focused on maximizing what we have? Are we focused on just being present to what goes on? And when we do that, things go well. Now, a great philosopher. Another consideration of this, if you're wondering why you're maybe not where you want to be, did you violate Ross's rule? Motivation is a myth. I've talked to so many people, I'm just not feeling very motivated. Well, that's okay. You don't need to be a Greek mythology expert. But Matt always talks about is that momentum is the deal. A little moderation in there, folks. Enjoy, chill, back off a little bit. But we don't have to go into reverse gear while we're going 60 miles an hour down the highway. The transmission will fall out. So keeping our momentum from season to season is a maturity thing. It's a growth thing. Our lives don't just suddenly have seasons when we get to certain points. So there's so many things in life that we can't say, oh, I'm going to really bust it for 12 weeks, and then I'm going to just take all the time off. So let's form the habit of momentum, keeping positive momentum. We can slow down, we can shift gears, we can rest, we can chill. Nobody chills better than Dan Moore chills, I promise you that. But when we lose our momentum totally, it takes 6 times as much energy to get it back as it did if we had just kept it going even slowly just a little bit. Making sense? So don't violate Ross's rule. That's an important thing. Consistent stars. Real quick, somebody shout out, what makes somebody a consistent star season after season, year after year? What are some reasons? Attitude and effort. And when attitude fails, effort will restore it. When attitude is not there, effort will restore it. It's as simple as that. It is easier to act our way into proper feeling than it is to hope our way into proper acting. Attitude and effort. What else makes somebody a consistent star? Principles. Principles as opposed to emotions. They focus on doing what's right, not what's right now, not what they feel like at the moment. It's often been said that the greatest cause of failure in life is doing what we want to at the moment instead of what we want the most. What else helps somebody be a consistent star? They control the inputs and ultimately they get consistent outputs. Consistent inputs lead to consistent outputs. So if we're putting that in, it makes such a difference. Think about what makes people consistent year in, year out for long periods of time, and let's become that, shall we? Let's become that, so that we can all be consistent stars. So our success is really up to us. Are we going to cherish this? Or are we going to just assume it's automatic? I think I know this group of people. Let's cherish it. Let's help each other be the best that we can be, and amazing things are going to happen for all of us.
Yeah.
Southwestern Lead is an international leadership program that helps you build skills, gain confidence, and discover new opportunities. With professional coaching, a world-class digital learning platform, and certifications that will enhance your resume or application, Lead sets you apart. We'll show you how to turn success principles into success habits through small group training, one-on-one coaching, and guided action plans to help you apply what you're learning. It takes more than academics to reach your goals. See what one of America's oldest leadership training programs can do for you. Visit southwesternlead.com.